But still, it is a big win
They
for
weren't even high fives. A bunch of low fives.
It was a bit of low five. But as you said, it is Luxembourg. We expect Germany to win this one. As you can see there, they are in Group A, joint top, I suppose we could say that, on 6 points with Northern Ireland as well as Slovakia. And for Luxembourg, they're languishing at the bottom. Now, Jurgen, always watching Germany, I suppose in the last couple of years has been a bit interesting because we do know that there has been some sort of a rebuild. And so far when we've seen Germany in action, like the last international window, they still haven't necessarily convinced us all that Germany is back. What do you make of this German team?
Yeah, the same question, asked basically by every football fan in Germany since months. Where do we stand? Where are we in the process towards the World Cup 2026 in the US, Canada, and Mexico? Obviously, they started the qualification round, the last qualification round now with a defeat against Slovakia, which was a huge surprise to everybody, and it was kind of the atmosphere out there was very critical with Julian Nagelsmann. And they expected, obviously, a clear reaction today against Luxembourg. They expect now a good game in Northern Ireland in a couple of days to put the record straight, because the expectations is clear. They're going as a number one in the group team straight to the World Cup. Yes, the transition is still ongoing because, obviously, the injury of Musiala left a huge hole there. They're trying still to find a number 9 that is really the number 9, and not always in doubt. Woltemade is developing, is doing well at Newcastle, but he hasn't scored yet for the national team. But now he's constantly there. I think Gnabry and Kimmich probably today were the two best players on the pitch. But the team still has to find itself, so it's still in the process. The great big question mark is a bit the goalkeeper position, because Ter Stegen is long time injured, and there's always the rumor around that maybe Manuel Neuer comes back shortly, maybe before the World Cup, because if they don't solve that position, then we have a problem in Germany.
I don't want to take your role, Alexis, but can I ask a question to Jurgen?
Alex,
Please. As I'm watching this game and I'm seeing that Joshua Kimmich is playing right back, Nagelsmann has it out there right back. When he was at Bayern Munich, he would have him in the middle, and then he would send them out to right back. Now, from the land that saw Thomas Berthold as a right back, Hans-Peter Briegel, Philipp Lahm, Jurgen, is Joshua Kimmich really going to be the right back for this German national team, assuming that they make it to the World Cup in 2026? Is he really the best right back that Germany can offer right now?
He's definitely the best alternative they have, as a non-right back. But I mean, he can play the position as we know, but obviously he sees himself as well as a number 6, as a number 8, because he wants to run the show. He wants to have 120 touches per game, and be the kind of the playmaker in a certain way, coming from a deeper position. That's where he sees himself as well. Germany at the moment is struggling of both sides, with the fullbacks, and it will be interesting to see, what route Nagelsmann will go. In 2014, Germany ended up to win the World Cup with 4 center backs, because they had no real high quality fullbacks. So Jogi Löw decided then to put 2 other center backs to the outside positions, and said, but don't go forward. Let the other ones do the stuff going in attack. There are question marks out there. Question marks every game is, what is the ideal midfield? If Kimmich plays as a number 6, Ale, and you're right, he's ideal there. But is he the number 6 that wins you every ball back? Is he one, that Gattuso, a player that cleans up in front of the back line? Because if you play back 4, you need to make sure you have a number 6 that protects your 2 center backs, and that's the issue at Bayern Munich over the last couple of years. We had discussion often, on the show, is saying, okay, how can they be protected then, the 2 center backs at Bayern Munich, if nobody in front of them is cleaning up, is doing the dirty work, that we always say. So Germany has still some work to do. Nagelsmann still has some work to do, but obviously the country expects him now to go to Northern Ireland and get 3 points and make it clear that they go through to the World Cup as the number 1 team in that group. But there are still a lot of question marks out there.
All right. Did that answer your question, Ale?
It
You feel
did.
fulfilled?
Well, he didn't give me a name, but yeah, sure.
All right, Jurgen, danke schön for joining us. It was great to have you back.
Thanks for having you guys. Always a pleasure.
All right, so unfortunately, Azerbaijan, for them and for Shaka, not much up to the task against France. But you know what? We can
gave it our best.
It's a we now. Shocked in Uzbeki. All right. This is a look at Group D standings where France are, and everything looking good there for the French, isn't it, Ale?
You mean as it pertains to World Cup qualifying?
Past that, because when we're talking about France, we're talking about, at least in the top 3 names, we're talking about winning the entire thing.
This was nothing more than a somewhat competitive training session. About 20 seconds into the match, Azerbaijan plays the ball back into their own half. Kylian Mbappe gets on the end of it, probably should have scored. Hits it on target, goalkeeper makes a save, should have scored. If he had done that, this game would have gotten out of control quite early. Azerbaijan then got organized, made it somewhat difficult for France. It became more of a frustrating evening than it needed to be for France. But eventually, they're too good, too much pace, too much quality, too much talent, and they end up scoring 3 goals. And you're thinking, they won this game as easily as they did, and you never got the sense that they were at full strength or full speed. That is really the question for me in France, is how often can you get their best? And if you get their best 7 matches in a row in a World Cup, you're talking about a team that should be in the final stages of the competition. But this is a team as talented as it is, and mind you, they kept going into the stands for the players that were not on the field. And it's Dembele's over there, and Barcola is over there, and this guy is here, and this guy is there, and you're thinking, good Lord. Wow. So they got more to come. They got more to come. This is as talented a team as there is in the world. They are their own enemy, their own biggest enemy. They are the ones that can put a ceiling on what they can do in the World Cup. The talent, when you look men for men, 1 through 22, there is no better squad in the world.
Shaka, in terms of contenders to win the World Cup, of course, France being finalists last time, so I said they're definitely at least in the top 3 in this conversation. Where do they fall for you?
I probably would have them above Spain in terms of the betting odds. I just feel that this France, in Tali's point, with all the players that can come in and make this team better, with Kylian Mbappe being the focus that he is, and certainly mentioned the 2022 World Cup, how he's grown, how he's matured, how he's now settled into that Real Madrid shirt. I think he's a better player than we saw 4 years ago. This is a France team that certainly can be reckoned with. If you get the best out of them, which is always the question with France, you get the best out of them, there are very few teams that can match them. For me, probably certainly of the European teams, favorite.